Hello there. Welcome to the show. My name is John, and I am super confident that we all know someone, whether it's a family member, a neighbor, a coworker, a friend, we all know someone that it's their life mission to complain. You could put $1 billion of tax free money in their lap, give them the cure to every known disease out there. You can make the world a perfect utopia and they'd still complain because they'd be unhappy if they weren't complaining. Now, if you don't know someone like that, you're very lucky because sometimes it can be very draining. There are some positive things to it, but that's not what I'm going to refer to in this episode. What I'm referring to is it seems like this type of person has become contagious across the internet, whether it's blogs like Reddit and Quora, whether it's social media like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. And it seems to be aimed, especially in the last 6 months to a year, it's been aimed at AI. Now, I understand it. I'm not saying I don't understand. I get it, especially with all the fear mongering media out there, right? Everybody from Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all these podcasters, all these guys are just hammering down the Armageddon of AI. That's like Terminator all over again, Terminator 2 all over again. There's just all this lunacy. But it's targeted because the companies that are pushing for AI are not doing themselves any favors either. And what I'm referring to is you got Amazon that said, hey, we're going to lay off 14,000 people in the name of AI, which, by the way, is a lie. We'll get more into that later on in the episode, but you're going to want to stick around for that because we'll just say that that's horse manure. But still, to say that, and then you have other companies like Target and Nvidia and Meta and YouTube, all these companies that are planning layoffs in the name of AI. So you got these students that are sitting in college trying to get tech degrees so they can go have, a job or a career that pays them good money and do something they like. It feels like their degree's worthless now. You have people that have been in the white collar space forever, finance jobs, lawyers, paralegals, things like that. And they've worked for big corporations and now their job is at risk, if not been eliminated. So there's a lot of fear going on. And it's rightfully so to a point. But what no one points out, unless it's a corporation trying to sell you something, is that this has happened before. So if you go back to the days of when NASA didn't have IBM computers trying to get into space with Friendship 1, they used human computers to do calculations by hand. They were no longer useful. All those men and women that were human computers became unnecessary as the 60s and 70s rolled in because it was taken over by the new computer system. There are movies that have pointed this out. Sorry, my nose is all plugged up because I'm sick. So when you think about that, what did those people go do? They took their talents to another part of the economy and built another career. So there's going to be job creation out of innovation. It's whether you want to adapt or not. And that brings me to what the biggest thing I was going to talk about. We finally gotten to where I wanted to get to, right? There's the context. So now that we're at the context, what does it all put together? Well, this type of person is now stalking people's media and social media, whatever you want to call it, that if you're making some kind of AI content, and I'm not talking about cutting a piece of fruit. I'm talking about like skits. Like I do on separate channels, I use AI characters to make comedy skits. I've done AI babies, I've done a fox, I've done a badger, I've done myself, I've done my cat. I've done all kinds of little characters that do comedy skits that make people laugh. And I use AI to do it because some of the jokes sound funnier coming out of my cat than they do out of my voice because I'm not that talented. So when I do all that and I post it online, now I've got people that stalk my page on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. They stalk it, and every comment and every video is AI slop, AI slop, AI slop, AI slop, AI slop. Who gives a crap? If it's making people laugh and making their day brighter and better, if people are having a crappy day because life is just beating them down, doesn't matter if they identify as a man, woman, whatever they identify as, if they are a human being and their life is being beat down right now, and a silly, clean dad joke coming out of a fox makes them laugh and makes their life brighter and better, who are you to tell me that is wrong? It's fear that AI is taking over the human element of content creation. People are afraid that they're going to lose their job or lose their place in line. An actor who built themselves up from acting school all the way to their first motion picture, and all of a sudden there's a threat of the first ever full AI movie being released in theaters. Now it becomes a problem. But it wasn't a problem when ChatGPT could help you find answers to problems that you have. But the minute it may affect your place in line for something you've worked towards, now you have a problem with it. I'm not going to tell you there isn't a dark side to AI. There's a dark side. I've seen it being used to run scams. I've seen my likeness being used to run a scam on TikTok. I've seen um, I've seen a lot of crap. I've seen pictures of Joe Biden uh, in a funeral home, laying in a casket during an open casket meeting, like it looks like a paparazzi video or paparazzi photo. I've seen the same thing with Trump with a walker. I've seen photos of Governor Gavin Newsom taking money out of a drawer inside the California Capitol and stuffing it in his pocket. These are all AI generated. It's a dark thing to see. I've seen AI generated lies about celebrities. So there is a dark side to it. But when it comes to people who use it for the right reasons, why are you punishing them? Why do you give a crap? If you don't want to see it, put your settings to where you block that channel from seeing it. Don't stalk their page and sit there and go, AI slump, AI slump. And of course it's anonymous. There's no pictures of them anywhere on the internet. So, it's kind of like John Cena, like, you can't see me. You can't see me. You can't see me. It doesn't bother me per se. Because to me, go ahead and make the comment because the comment helps boost my discovery and my reach to see more people. So I actually personally don't have a problem with it. What I have a problem with is, why do we care so much? It's coming. Nothing's going to stop it. So we either embrace it and adapt to it, or we crash and burn. I've made mistakes in my younger years where I did not adapt. If I could take my knowledge of what's happening today and go back 20 years to my 21-year-old self, by the way, I just aged myself, okay? I would tell my 21-year-old self, hey, sign up for Facebook. When Vine came out, even though it went out and didn't go anywhere, and TikTok took it over, I always said, take over, get on Vine, get on YouTube, start a YouTube channel on day one. YouTube came out, start a channel. I didn't want to back then because I'm like, that's never going to pay me. That's never going to make any money. I've been one of the first horses to the trough. And I would have embraced everything: YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. I would have just, instead of being a little behind everybody else, I would have embraced it. But now I'm one of the few creators in a lot of my spaces that have embraced AI, and I've benefited from it. I finally decided I'm not going to sit on the sidelines. I'm going to embrace artificial intelligence. I'm going to learn about it, and I'm going to use it to benefit me, my family, my lifestyle. I mean, come on. Why not? Why not? The other complaint I'm seeing a lot, and I'm a little bit to blame for this, is dating. Dating as a 41-year-old man sucks in the United States of America, especially if you make any kind of money. It sucks. You know, when you have a career, a media company, and two or three small little other businesses that you run after work, and you're building towards something, everybody wants you to halt and give them all your money and give them all your attention. That's men and women, by the way. It's not just women. I've seen it in gay relationships. I have a friend of mine, he's a gay man, and him and I had conversations over the holidays so far that have been, he's having a tough time finding a man that doesn't want like the world up front before like they even go and have a dinner date. It's like everything's become transactional. It's not like it was. And I'm always like wondering, like, why in the hell do people give a crap about your height, your body count, your bank account? Why? Who gives a crap? Money comes and goes. Companionship, love, trust, friendship, those things last a long time, especially if you water it and take care of it and you don't worry about what's on the other side of things. So there's a young lady who's been trying to text me that I was interested in dating, but she just, I mean, went from being a friend and someone I could just talk to and get along with to instant psycho in less than 12 hours, and ruined my Uber driver app abilities, almost cost me one of my social media accounts, all because she was getting kicked out of her apartment because she couldn't pay her rent. And her, we're just getting to know each other and be friends and talk and be cool, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to date anyone. I'm not interested because I'm not even interested in being friends with the opposite sex because of friendship turned into almost ruining my life. And it's like, why do you give a crap about what I can do? Why don't you care more about what you can do? But I digress. This will be a daily podcast episode, Monday through Friday. If you're interested, please subscribe to the podcast as it does help us out. It is a YouTube music and YouTube channel exclusive. So you'll only see me on YouTube or YouTube's platforms, including YouTube TV. I'm not being paid for that. I just didn't decide it would be easier to do it that way. And that's why you see the name of the freaking thing is Who Gives a Crap? Because finally someone needs to say it. Until tomorrow.